So this is a quick overview on how to play Tamagotchi collections. I bought this at GameStop. It plays 2 to 4 players. So first, give every player a player board. And for each player board, give them 4 heart tokens. 4 heart tokens, 1 poop tracker, and 2 hatched Tamagotchis. After that, lay out the Tamagotchi deck. Give everyone a reference card. Separate out the minigame deck from the market deck. And the minigame cards out from the market deck. Next, create the marketplace by placing out the 3 tokens, the diamond, the spade, and the clubs. In each row of the market, place out 1 minigame card, as well as 2 marketplace cards. From there, determine who's first player and start going clockwise. So on your turn, first, you will roll dice, move the poop tracker, play with any toys in your rooms, hatch new Tamagotchis, buy some cards from the marketplace, and then play a minigame if you desire. And then you pass on to the next player. So, first, roll dice. Based on the number of hatched Tamagotchis you have, take the corresponding number of dice. So I have 2 to start off the game. You get 2 dice. Then you roll them. And these are your action dice. So first, if any of your dice faces match the Tamagotchi symbol, for example, this diamond to this diamond here, you trigger a poop. So go up by 1. If you had multiple diamonds on different Tamagotchis, you would trigger both of them. When your poop tracker goes up to 7 on this poop phase here, you bust, you lose any tokens on your Tamagotchis, and your heart trackers go back to 0. If you had a Tamagotchi that matched the corresponding symbol, for example, the spade over here, the egg would hatch immediately. You would not get a new dice for this newly hatched egg. From there, move on to part 3. If you had any toys in the bottom of your room, toys such as this pink card, you assign it to a room, and it permanently stays attached to that room. The toy can only be used if the Tamagotchi was activated. Part 4, hatching new eggs. As we mentioned earlier, if you were able to hatch an egg by rolling the dice face, you would hatch it immediately for free. If you didn't, you could purchase a new egg using a dice. You could buy an egg where the symbol doesn't match, and the egg just goes into here, but it does not hatch. Alternatively, you could buy an egg using the same dice face as the egg, and the egg would hatch immediately. The dice would be used up in that case. Alright, part 5. So what are you trying to do? You are trying to raise the heart levels of your hatched Tamagotchis to 4 to grow them and get points that way. So how do you get hearts? Looking over here on the market, you are spending your dice in the corresponding row of the symbol to either play the mini game or buy the card. Looking at these cards here, there are care cards, food cards, and playroom cards, as well as the minigame cards. The heart in the top right corner of the card tells you how many hearts your Tamagotchi would go up by, as well as the text in the center would tell you the effect of the specific card. So if I bought this one, for example, my Ichigo would go up 1 heart. It would gain 1 food token. Food tokens are bonus points at the end of the game if your Tamagotchi is successfully grown up. But Oh, and you would also lose a poop track. Decrease that by 1. Bonus, if all Tamagotchis are fed this way, gain a new egg. So fed in this case would mean having a food token on top of them. The market does not refresh until the end of your turn. Once you have used up all your dice, remove your dice, refresh the market, and then the next player can go. Let's look at a few of the cards. So we have our basic care cards. This one is titled School. Gives your single Tamagotchi 1 heart. Each Tamagotchi can only use 1 action card per turn. And the effect, gain a new egg, reroll any dice. If that dice matches any egg you have, they hatch. This one, you gain 2 hearts. It's called Snack. Give each Tamagotchi a food token, then gain a increase on the track. This one, 2 hearts, the mall. Draw 3 shop cards in this deck. Over here, these 2 columns. Take 1 item or 1 food card and discard the rest. -2 poop, 1 heart. This is a playroom toy picnic set. The share ability, choose 1 other player. Add food to any Tamagotchi. This is a food card. You can tell by the food symbol in the bottom. This is slightly different. This gives you 1 heart as well. But if you match the Tamagotchi to their favorite food item, for example, Ichigo here likes broccoli, and Mamechi here likes cupcakes. If you were to match the food card to the corresponding Tamagotchi that loves this food, they gain not only the 1 food and 1 poop track, but they would gain an additional food token and an extra heart to grow faster. So that's 2 bonus points. 1 bonus point right there. If you had multiple toys in a room, each room can only have 1 toy. If you wanted to place a new toy down, you would have to discard the old toy. So let's get into the mini games. During setup, when you see these big numbers in the minigame cards, place the corresponding tokens. For example, here in the club row, I would place 3 club tokens onto the minigame card. Spades here, place 3. Diamonds, place 2. If I wanted to use a minigame card, I would allocate my dice to the corresponding row. If I wanted to play the minigame, I would take 1 token, own it permanently, add it to my inventory, and then take the lesser effect, which is a top effect of the minigame. So here, I would get 2 hearts immediately. 1, 2, for example. As the game goes on, other players will get tokens as well. If the last token has been taken from the minigame, at the end of that round, everyone will participate in the minigame if they have the matching token, and you have to cash in the token. Why would you want to do that? Well, for every participant that plays the minigame, if you win, you get the big reward at the bottom here. So for this, for example, gain all eggs in all of your empty rooms. If you were the only person who had a token, and you were playing the minigame alone, you would play a solo minigame. If you didn't want the reward at the bottom of the card, instead you can use it to immediately grow up any Tamagotchi from 0 to 4. And as we know, a Tamagotchi just hatched is 2 points, but a grown-up Tamagotchi is worth 4 points at the end of the game. Let's say this room was assigned this toy, and this room was assigned this toy. If I had a new toy and I wanted to place it in this room, I would have to discard the old toy and replace it with the new one. The objective is get the most victory points, and you get victory points based on grown-up Tamagotchis for each. For every hatched Tamagotchis, you get 2, and every cashed-in food token that came from a grown Tamagotchi will get you 1 bonus points. Eggs do not count as points. And for a tiebreaker, the players with the most food tokens, unbanked food tokens, is the winner. If you want to play a shorter game, well, the game ends normally when the egg deck runs out or when the market cannot be replenished. If you want a shorter game, you can take out 15 shop cards and 2 playdate cards. After a player's turn, if the shop deck or the playdate deck cannot be refilled or the egg deck is empty, the game ends. If for some reason you don't have a Tamagotchi anymore, you immediately hatch 1 egg on your board if you have an egg. If you don't have an egg and you're out of Tamagotchis, you immediately get a new egg and hatch it immediately. Since you roll more dice per hatched Tamagotchis, you get more actions per turn, but also the risk of moving the poop tracker, since the dice face can match the Tamagotchis. If your tracker reaches 7 in the middle of your turn, or during another player's turn, you do not bust yet, you only bust at the end of your poop phase. The reason being is that there are minigame cards and other share cards that could reduce your poop tracker down from busting. So how do you play the 4 minigames? If the minigame token runs out, you play that corresponding minigame. So if diamond tokens ran out, we would play the diamond minigame, which is thread the needle. Your reference cards here are a quick synopsis on what they do. If multiple minigame tokens run out, the active player gets to choose which game to play, and then after that, both of the cards would be replaced. The minigame deck consists of numbers 1 to 10, 2 copies of each. So, how does one play? The first minigame, Jumping Jacks. Deal each player 1 card. Then, in the center deck, reveal cards until you reach the number 10 or more. 4, 3, 6. So that's 13. This is the number everyone is trying to get as close to without passing, similar to blackjack. So, if I was going first, the dealer would give me a card face down secretly into my hand. The other players would not see this. If you bust, do not tell anyone you busted, but you must end your turn. So here, 15 exceeded 13. I wouldn't let anyone know, but I would just say, I'm done. Then the next player would go. And they can keep going until they stop. So this player also busted, but they would not let anyone know. At the end, once every player has gone, we reveal. In this case, nobody wins, no one gets the minigame reward, but if someone did not bust, for example this player, then they would be the sole winner and get the reward. The next game is called Mimic. First, deal everyone 1 card in front of them. Next, deal 3 cards in the center face down. After, give every player 2 cards in their hand. The point of this game is that using the 2 cards in your hand, you want to either add them or subtract them to reach your face-up target number. So in this case, player to the left, they have a 6 as their target. In their hand, they have 1 and 5. This is perfect. Together, it equals 6. On your turn, you have the option to look at one of the face-down cards, and then you may swap it into your hand and replace it with an existing card. In this case, I had a perfect hand. I would not want to swap, so I would return the card. However, this player, getting a 3, they can either add or subtract the cards to get a 3. So for example, they might want to add this card to their hand, look at it, and then swap it for a card. After every player has done that, they reveal, and whoever is closest to the number is the winner. So this player, if they did 10 minus 6, that would be 4. That's 1 off from 3. But this player, 1 plus 5 equals 6. This player would be the winner. The third mini game is Thread the Needle for diamonds. Deal 4 cards out face down and provide each player one of those face down cards. With the remaining cards, deal each player 3 cards for their hand. The objective of this game is that you want your face down card. You don't know what it is, but you don't want to be the highest value or the lowest value out of all of the cards revealed. And the cards revealed are the ones that in front of every player and the center row. So, on your turn, you are allowed to replace your face down card with one of the cards from your hand. You may not look at the face down card when you replace it. So I don't know what this is, but in this case, I would want a number in the center. So probably this is a good bet. But 3 is also on the low end, 2 is on the low end, 9 is on the high end. I think I'll stay. So once every player has done that, we reveal all the face down cards. So the highest card is eliminated. The lowest card is also eliminated. Therefore, in this minigame, we have 2 winners who are in the center. Both of the winners reap the rewards of the minigame big effect. And if they don't want the reward on the minigame card, they could choose to instantly grow their Tamagotchi for 4 points. The last minigame. Remember, to play a minigame, you need to cash in the respective token. If I wanted to play the diamond minigame, all players must cash in a diamond token. If you are the only person playing a minigame, alone, you must play Guess the Number. You draw 5 cards. From there, you challenge the deck. You play one of your cards, and then you will say if the card from the deck is higher or lower. If you are correct, you win 1 of the rounds. You need to win 4 out of the 5 rounds. If you are playing the minigame alone, you do not cash in a token. So here, for example, I believe the next card will be higher. Oh, it was lower! I got 1 strike! Alright. This card, I think the next card will be lower. Yes, 1 point out of 5. And you need 4 points out of 5. So the next 3 has to be perfect. I think it'll be higher. Yep. I think this will be lower. Yep. And lastly, I think the next card will be lower. Yes. So I got 4 out of 5 correct. I would win the minigame.